And again, you can hear the military planes up. We are only 33 miles from Mildenhall and Lakenheath, big US air bases. Plenty of planes still going east, coming back east. So we are certainly all in range of war, the unexpected, when you least expect it, on a day just like today. Certainly can come as a thief in the night, first strike, so we can certainly all take a big hit. And one big war in this. Again, awful mad monster lies, bogus diagnosis and death threats, but no Roy Wyan, White Van Man, Christian B, Sandringham serial killer, Black Wizard terrorist issue, I really don't think so. That was interesting at Granswick Crane Chicken Weybird at the time. And as always, how do I know? Little birdie told me so. Garth, Scott and Deborah, Tricky Ricky Martin. Certainly had a big vendetta against me, especially Scott, the health and safety manager. And I did work at Frozen Herbs in the past as a supervisor and a charge hand at British Sugar, so you get a little bit of a knowledge how things should be, and when you see things that are not as they should be and you address it or you bring it to their attention, they don't like it. Just give you an example. I have a forklift license and a reach truck license. And there were guys rolling around in the yard with their prongs up in the air, not in travel position, at high speeds. And then you had people who weren't paying attention, walking behind forklifts, walking in front of forklifts. That was just a major accident just waiting to happen. So I did bring that to Deborah's attention, who was the kind of under health official under Scott. Said you really need to address this before there's a fatal incident. So he didn't like that. And then I lost my job on nights because Vida and her team leader husband, who wanted everyone to turn against Patrick, and because Patrick wouldn't bow down and kiss their behinds like everyone else. And I stuck up for Patrick and said, no, he's a rough diamond, but he's a damn good worker. So that marked my card on nights with Garth Vida and her team leader husband, because I wouldn't join in with everyone else and set Patrick up to get him to lose his job. So I got put on days in the tray room, and I couldn't believe it. This is the tray washing machine. Was full of the most putrid, disgusting water, and the trays were all full of guts and blood that's washing, but it's washing it with no chemical in the water, because no one was looking putting any chemical in the water. The water hadn't been changed since I don't know when, and they were washing these trays in that were then going back into the factory, dripping with all this contaminated, putrid water that again was full of blood and guts and everything else. Then putting fresh chicken into it, stacking them up all in the tray, so all this contaminated gunge liquid was dripping all over the fresh chicken, and then being labelled up and sent off to Morrison's. And I said, you can't do that. What the heck is going on in this tray washing room? When was this water last changed? So that really put their noses out of joint. But I mean, that's, absolutely, don't know what the word is, but just definitely not how it should have been. And then the tray room itself, the tray washroom, hadn't been deep cleaned since goodness knows when. And I had been on nights to night cleaning and been chemically trained too. Again, you got blood and guts all over the floor and the walls and everywhere else. And that is the start of the food processing, the tray room. And then what again goes in, and that's where the chickens start going round in the factory and so forth. So again, I pulled up Garth, who was meant to be the hygiene manager, and I said, you know, you need to send your cleaners over here at night, and this tray room, this tray washroom needs to be deep clean because it's in an absolutely disgusting situation, and they wouldn't have it, wouldn't hear it. So that put their noses out of joint, so my card was marked. So you had Garth, Scott and Deborah, Tricky, Ricky, Martin, and you had the supervisors, Tim, Connor, Vida, the Burston supervisor, team leaders, engineers, the Scotland Road assassins, all full of monster lies who know each other. So monster lies then cost me my job on days, led to my suspension, 15-day bogus investigation that I had no say in, and then my immediate dismissal and not one word in writing. So if you were working and you turned up to work today and they said, you're fired, and you said, well, fired for what? No, you're fired, go. Don't explain anything, don't say anything, you're just fired. And you think, well, what have I done? I haven't done anything wrong. Why am I fired? And that was a Granswick bacon butcher in Hull who did rape and abduct, murder and butcher Libby Squire, the young UEA student in Hull, and no Granswick Crane chicken managers, no Black Wizard here in a Volvo estate, no Red Carmichael Dunn, Michael Sands, Sutcliffe, Steve Wright, Wayne Cousins, Brady Huntley, Fred West. Again, we did have a motor mechanic 15 miles from here, Clive Howard, Nightcrawler, stalker, serial rapist, ride and rained in a red Volvo estate, abducting women and young girls unchecked for 28 years, was found guilty of 11 offences, but there was a lot of other victims who came forward after the trial. So they was a real cutting room, jigsaw trap, full of monster lies, certainly get your throat slit like a chicken's neck. A very deadly serial killer bird flu in Dis, Norfolk, UK. Very deadly Norfolk bacon SS. Serial killer swine flu. They certainly have infected everyone apart from me. All delivered by Dis Post Office, Royal Mail, Postie Assassins, Vigilantes, Postie Mail. And I did expose it all online at the time. So Granswick Crane chicken managers, Scarf, Scott and Deborah. And you couldn't make this up. Sent Dis PC Cage around to see me. That was his actual name. Very pleasant, very polite police officer. But PC Chicken Cage arranged to see me to inform me I didn't stop exposing their monster lies, that they would have me proper plucked. And Dr. Pantasi also called me in, Dislaw's medical health care practice, but no Dislaw man here. Show me the Norfolk Bacon SS, Windsor Gestapo. It's the local Nazis, email that he'd received. And his advice was, run Johnny run, run Forrester run. They wanted me boxed up, locked up, or done in, disappeared one way or another. And again, all to cover up high crimes, royal blue murder, and certainly not mine. Big Granswick Crane chicken managers, Garth, Scott and Deborah, Tricky, Ricky Martin, big police SS collaboration. Simon Bailey Don't Cry and his blonde host plainclothes lover and her partner, not true detectives. So that was just an interesting situation to find yourself in, and again to work through and come out the other side. But as always, that is the big problem in Norfolk, in this Norfolk, UK. Monster lies certainly will get you beaten, stab shot, sound fine. That was interesting at Granswick Crane Chicken Weybridge at the time. You know, when the monster lives were going around the factory, and certainly not me leaving the body of a 17-year-old Eastern European gal on the Royal Sandringham Estate killing fields, late Prince Philip's favourite hunting area. I really don't think so. Again, a high royal blue crime, New Year's Day fine, September blue murder, certainly not mine. So when you're working with over 200 Eastern Europeans and they think that you've murdered a 17-year-old Eastern European girl, that one goes down pretty well in a factory, and there were people running their fingers across their throat like, we will slit your throat like a chicken's neck, believing the big monster lie was true. So they will pay to make you disappear, and that's been a silver Ford Focus doing the rounds in this recently. Haven't seen it in more recent times. Always those who'll do other people's dirty work, and others who'll do anything for money, drugs and alcohol. Again, all to cover up high crimes, royal blue murder, and certainly not mine. So no Roy Wyan, White Van Man, Christian B, Sandringham serial killer, Black Wizard, terrorist, issue, I really don't think so. That one's got wife on it, you certainly can see my ex-wife, Shay Fraternal, Fire and Burson, Big Police Council, Doctor Who collaboration, Inspector Numbnuts Bunton, Mr. Fixer, Liar Liar, Pants on Fire, no longer with us, God rest his soul. Two blatant lies from a police inspector, far bigger than Plebgate. And as always, I do have the evidence, do have the proof, do have the letter in black and white. Written by Peacock, signed by Inspector Numbnuts Bunton, Mr. Fixer, Liar Liar, Pants on Fire. So no Black Panther, Puma, Jaguar, Cougar, no ritual killer here. Africa, Dis, Norwich and Sandringham. Simon Bailey don't cry, and his blonde host plainclothes lover and a partner, not true detectives. That one had 7 2s on it, 7 monster lies, 7 bogus diagnoses forged in hell. Dis Mason Council, White Lodge, the local mafia, the local mob. More bogus diagnosis than on Jack the Ripper, who they've now identified, apparently using new DNA technology. But no Norfolk Jack the Kipper, Sandringham serial killer, Black Wizard, terrorist, issuer, really don't think so. And as always, how do I know? Little birdie told me so.